Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to move the mounting screw hole from the weird location into a proper location, so we will be doing this. And with that, let's cue the intro and you can see my troubles and what was easy and what was not. Alright, cue the intro. Now with that all finally assembled, here's some images of the final product. I think it came out good. There's one little thing that I would change, and that's the end that goes to the end of the camera where the door is. I'd cut it short about, I don't know, 5 millimeters I'd say. And the reason for that is I can't open the door. I have to take the adapter off to access the panel inside the door. I mean, this is a waterproof camera, so we really want to be careful not damage the casing itself that protects the electronics on the inside. So yeah, that's a thing. And if I decide to, right now I'm not going to redo it, I'm not going to make it, if I decide to reprint it, then I probably will make that correction, but at this point, I'm calling this project good. It serves its purpose, it looks perfectly fine, and it functions exactly the way I was intending it to function. So I'm happy with the results. Like I said, there's only one little issue that I have with it, and that's just I made it too long. Alright, now with that said and everything, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. You have a better, clearer understanding of what I was doing, and that there are ways to combine hardware and the printing process together to produce a product that will be actually very useful. The final results material, or whatever you want to call it, the filament that I used at the bottom is the Protopasta HT-PLA. Alright, catch you guys in the next one. Please subscribe if you haven't. Enjoy your day. Bye. Finally figured it out. Finally got it right. We're going to do the final assembly and get this thing working. This time, I didn't want to deal with the raft, so I didn't print it with a raft. I printed with a skirt. Or a brim, actually. I think it's what it's called. Yeah, brim. Because it's actually touching the model. And this was a mistake on my end as well. Printing with a brim, in this case, in this situation, I kind of lost that textured bump that I was looking for. And it kind of stuck to the plate. And it's kind of still there. Oops. Yeah. Most of it's come off. There's still a little bit there. Yeah, not a big deal. It's built tack anyways. Alright. Fair warning. Don't be stupid. I was stupid and paid for the price for being stupid. I was scraping off trying to scrape off the raft that I used to print with, and I stabbed myself with a painter's palette knife, which wasn't too brilliant. As you can see, my stupidity led to some bleeding. Oh well, life goes on, it'll heal, learn from your mistakes. Now, with that said, this was going to be a pretty quick and easy fix. I just take the inner thing and bring it up, and I believe I need to remove a couple things and then make a couple little minor adjustments here and there. That's what you're seeing, what's going on here. One is adding some screw threads to it. And this is where I make my next mistake. I did not plan the screw threads correctly for the piece. Problem is even when I looked, I couldn't find the diameter that would fit that set of screws, or the screw threads for this. Ultimately, we know that I found the right solution. Okay, test time. How am I going to get this thing? First of all, I decided not to do threads, and this was a mistake. I made my preparations and stuff. I made a few really big mistakes. This is the this is the first iteration in this plan, but the second iteration of this adapter. We'll call it as that, because essentially that's all it is. It's an adapter shifting the mount hole to where it should be in the first place. And I'm using the soldering iron to help force the thing down. It was a headache, trust me on this, and it failed miserably. Well, I got it down, I got it working, but the problem is I didn't have enough of a depth within the plastic to be able to mount it on anything. So ultimately, after I tried this and realized that it failed, we had to go back to the drawing board. Now, the reason why I decided to tell you this little bit and show you that little bit is because I'm working off of that. So you needed to know about that before we really got into making these adjustments. I figured the best solution, I already found I didn't need to have the piece of plastic go the length of the camera. It needed to just kind of like, all we're doing is shifting the hole. So this was the best solution. And even at that, there's still little things that can probably be corrected or adjusted to better suit the camera itself. Well, if I decide to make those adjustments in the future, I will. But for now, this will be sufficient. So what we're doing is we needed to pick up some hardware for the tripod because I don't trust the plastic not to break. And the other problem is again, I wanted to make sure the screw hole had a metal base to it for the same reason. If it gets damaged, it's going to be a lot harder to fix unless it had a metal ring to it. So with that in mind, we're going to design around those things using the design that we already have. I'm also adding these little feet just to give it a texture and a little bit more grip. You'll see in the final result I kind of screwed that up, but that's okay. It's not that critical, and it's not worth me dealing with. Is off center. You know how difficult it is to set this on a small tripod and have it not fall over? That's my problem. It's a neat little camera. It has two different locations for tripod mounts. One's on the side so you can do it vertically. The other one's on its bottom to do it landscape. The problem is the one on the bottom. Well, it's not quite centered. So, I started to try to find a way around this problem. And also one that might fit on the little tripod selfie stick thing that I have that came with the 360 camera. So yeah, that's how this adventure started. And what you're seeing here right now is a preliminary start to this whole project. Ultimately, a lot of this is going to be abandoned